Hi everyone, my name is Kyra Laster and I'm one of the marketing interns here at Detroit Dance City Festival. Joining me today is Emma Kuchler, another one of the marketing interns, and today we will be interviewing Suzzanne Ponomarenko, who choreographed and performed in our Rivera Court Stage. Please enjoy this short clip from her performance and then the interview will begin.
So Suzzanne, would you like to introduce yourself, talk a little bit about you and your work?
Yeah, so sure. I'm Suzzanne Ponomarenko. I'm here right now in Fort Greene, Brooklyn, where I've been living in New York for 15 years as an artist, both dancer and a choreographer. And I recently had the wonderful experience and opportunity to perform in the virtual festival at the Detroit City Dance Festival, which was virtual this year, which for me was so important because really the whole city of New York's on lockdown. So it was the only opportunity I will probably have to perform this year. So it's a subject really close to my heart. So I'm happy to be here.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, can you tell us a little bit about the piece you performed, such as the title, the concept, all those good things?
Yeah, sure. All right. So the title is I, Hello, Ucho Senango, and I is the Spanish there is, and hello is our hello. Ucho Senango is a root of a plant that is located in most Amazonian jungles. That is a pinnacle of shamanism in Peruvian shamanism. Um, and it's just a slow avalanche of change, and that's what Ucho Sanango is. And actually, the word Ucho is Sanango is spicy, so it's actually a really spicy, intense change. And so that and the play on the words "I hello." I go down. I travel a lot into different countries for work and for vacation in different South America countries, and I saw a sign and it says "I hello," and I pass it all the time, and I just it stands out in my mind so much because the sign at one point said "I helado," like there is ice cream, but now the someone who wrote it now it says "Hi I hello," so there is hello. So and I love this play on words, and Ucha Sanango is a relationship that I had with Ucha Shinango that I was kind of trying to process through the making of this duet with a close colleague of mine, Heather Robles, who's fabulous, and we've worked together for 7 years. And I choreographed the moves, but it was a lot of talking, a lot of processing. The experience I had with this root, Ucho Sanango, and it actually was an extremely long piece that over time I ended up cutting short and short to what it is now, which is 14 minutes and 7 seconds.
Awesome. That is sounding so interesting. I love hearing where all of the inspiration comes from. So have you performed this piece or done anything with it prior to COVID-19 kind of taking over?
I did. I started creating it in September. I knew I wanted to make a duet. I make a lot of group pieces, but I knew I wanted to do something very quiet and personal with a close colleague of mine who I could really share a personal ideas with. So I think that's what kind of made this piece for me feel really potent because I was really comfortable with Heather, and it was just felt like a perfect little space we made together. And we performed this in January on 100 Grand Street, which is a performing space in Soho, January 18th, right before COVID. So it's kind of funny how this whole piece has just been my whole 2020. The only thing I'm doing and performing, which is hilarious because I had huge plans to do other things that obviously got canceled, but it kind of goes with the theme of the piece because the whole piece is about this slow avalanche of long changes. So it was really appropriate for COVID. So yeah, we performed it together in Soho. We did a split bill and then the Detroit Dance Festival. We actually didn't rehearse until we got to Detroit because there's no studios open here in New York. And we did it in the park once, but it's just, it's the park rehearsal and it was summer, it's super hot here. So yeah, we really didn't revisit it until we were in Detroit the day before the festival, other than talking to each other on Zoom. So it was like really weird to go through this whole quarantine experience. My parents had health issues, and then return to this piece being like a totally different person than when I made it. It was like the crazy, and it took a lot of self-talk not to change it, actually, because I felt like I was such a different person stepping back into it than when I made it, just because our whole world is different now.
Mm-hmm.
So it was really, and then
That
having it be
feels like-
virtual. Oh, sorry, go ahead, please.
Oh, no worries. I was just gonna say that feels like the perfect description of how like we use dance to show how ourselves change. Like that is the perfect example of that.
Yeah, and I really did want to change a lot of things, and I just kept saying no. I made this, you know, this was when I made it, and it's not. I can't change it because I truly ever like I was very I'm very particular and like almost micromanager when I make work. So like I really think about every little detail. I'm a detail-oriented choreographer, so I just, if I start making one change, the whole thing was gonna collapse.
Yeah. So was this your first time performing at DDCF?
You know what? I actually performed in DDCF the first year that there was the festival in person
Wow.
at the YMCA with a trio. I think it was 7 years ago. So it's really fun, and I love performing in this festival. I am from Cleveland, and I do so much work internationally and in New York, and my family never gets to see it. So when I came to the festival the first time, it was so exciting to have my family there. So I was so excited that this work got accepted. I thought, oh, my whole family's going to finally see this piece, you know, and they did online, but it was just, you know, it was just different. But everyone, yeah, the filming was so great. It was, I was nervous about the quality of the video because the piece is, you know, it's not for everybody. It's very subtle. And for my opinion, it's a in-person piece because there's a lot of parts of the piece where it's about trying and struggle, and sometimes that doesn't translate. You know, you have to see the actual artist be like, wow, what are they doing? This might hurt them. You know, that you don't feel that through the screen, but at least for me, I did feel the quality of the video. It did portray that. So I was really, really sorry. I don't even know if I answered the question.
Yeah, you did.
No, that was great. That was great. So, from like doing it in person 7 years ago to doing it virtually, did you come in with kind of no expectations, or were you kind of hoping to have a similar experience before? Was it the same? Was it different?
I just was so blown away by the commitment to keep this festival going, even though the circumstances are insane. I think that every festival got canceled this year except this festival. Really, I mean, maybe I'm sure there are others in different parts of the country or world that are having dance festivals. And it just, for me, speaks to the commitment of the people that work in this festival, such as yourselves and Yori. And I really can't believe it was as organized as it was. The first year, like I said, it was very organized, but it was just so different because it was in the stage and we had tech time, and I've never did a show where I didn't have tech, and I was just like, well, we're going to just go in and do it because the piece is 14 minutes and our slot was 20. I was like, we're just going to go in and do it, which was strange. Yeah, it was such a different experience. In the first year, I just remember meeting all the artists and going out to lunch and at being a community. And I did oddly feel this way from this festival. We're doing this interview. We did the group thing together. We Are One. I'm sorry if I misspeak the name, which was nice to meet the other participants and just the communications. I do feel like it was a whole event and not just like what could have been something a lot simpler, which is like me sending you my video and you playing it.
Mm-hmm.
So that was nice. It was great. And the classes, I love the classes.
Yeah. So how would you describe your feeling when you were performing, but there was no audience, but you knew that like it would be shown later virtually?
Yeah, that's so funny. I try not to think about that while I'm dancing so much because I just have to, I focus on the piece. Also within the piece are really, we have how do I even say this? We have things that we're thinking about, so we can't overthink those thoughts because I have specific internal motives that are happening. But it was so worth being in that Diego Rivera Museum. I mean, that was like a highlight of my life. I love Diego Rivera. I love Frida. I mean, how can you top that? And I didn't put two and two together. And I'm not from Detroit, so I've never been in that museum. So I just walk into this mural, and it was hard for me not to cry because I was so overwhelmed by just not being around art for months, and then walking into this amazing Diego Rivera. It was just like, I can cry thinking about it right now. It just was an incredible moment. So I almost felt like it was a trio in my mind. I was like, me and Heather were like, this is a trio between you and this Diego, which you can't do anything wrong in front of because it's so amazing. I mean, you could just stand there and the piece is amazing. And I just was trying to feel, I told Heather, we were talking before, like this May could be the last time we dance together. We have no idea what the state of the world's going to be like, or what our bodies are going to be like, or, things are weird right now in New York with dance. And, so I really just wanted to embrace that moment of being in my body and being with Heather and being with the music and being with Diego. So that was really what was most important to me. Audience, no audience. I don't even care if anyone saw it, I was just happy to be dancing.
Yeah.
What's that like being back in a space after so long? Like, were you nervous? Were you excited?
I was so excited. I couldn't believe how hard it was to do the dance. Like, just like moving my body largely. I live in a small apartment and I can't move big at all. And I'm such a large mover. So it just like, I was like, wow, I can't believe how much I move on a day-to-day basis that I don't do anymore. And it took a lot of physical effort, and both of us were so sore for weeks. Just doing simple things that we take for granted during this time.
Yeah. So what was it like when like the festival was virtual and like your piece was being shown?
Oh my God, nightmare. I was literally so nervous. It was like, I can perform my work, and I can also be in the audience of my piece not being in my work, but watching yourself on the screen when I knew all my family and friends, I was like, oh geez. Like, I just was like, it was really hard. And then once like a minute settled in, I was like, okay. You know what? Also, when I was making this, I was dancing 40 hours a week. So I am not doing anything. I'm doing my bicycle for 45 minutes in the other room. So there's a big difference in dancing all the time and not doing anything. So I was just like, oh my God, how will I even look? And once I got over that, like the first minute, it was really fun. And, my families are texting me, taking pictures, and it was exciting. My nephew and my nieces are young. They don't know anything. They thought I was famous because I was on TV. So that was a perk, because usually they're like, oh, Aunt Susie does like weird dance stuff. But now they're like, oh my God, you're famous. So it's like, not really, but I guess I am.
That's so cute.
Adorable. I love that. Are there any other experiences, anything you want to share before we wrap up?
I just want to, emphasize just how amazing, at least for me, and I'm sure the other artists in this festival agree, that you all stuck with this, made it what it is, and gave an opportunity for artists to do what we don't have the opportunity to do right now. I mean, for no money. I mean, it was just, I am very grateful for this opportunity. And when I say it's the highlight of my year, I really mean it. It was the highlight of my year, entering back into this piece that means so much to me. So yeah, that's all just a total gratitude.
Awesome. We're so happy to hear that. Thank you so much for sharing your us and being a part of such an amazing virtual experience. We're so glad to have you perform with us at the Rivera Court Stage. So thank you so much, Suzzanne, for joining us today for this interview.
Thank you.
Everyone should make sure DetroitDanceCityFestival.com, where you can rewatch not only Suzzanne's performance, but all of the other great performances from the festival. Take all of the classes over again. It's all there on our website. And be sure to check back and watch all of the other amazing interviews with our other artists. We cannot wait to be with you all again at next year's festival. Bye.